What fascinates us about him? What made him into the person that he is today? What motivates people to hate him and to visit him? MacLeod, this is the story of Drachenlord. On December 8th, Rainer deleted his old Let's Play channel because of a strike and created Dragon LP. However, this channel would receive a lot less attention than his main channel. December 9th, he released Vlog des Drachen number 32, Dragon LP. He promotes his new Let's Play channel and announces an interview with radio station Wacken for next Tuesday. In Vlog des Drachen number 33 of sponsorships on YouTube from December 10th, Rainer announces the release of the interview for the afternoon but doesn't know exactly which time. Then he introduces his website and explains that he wants to reject the offer for a YouTube sponsorship in the form of financial support. This alleged sponsorship was a troll attempt, of course. On December 11th, he released the video Drachenlord Episode 3, Drachenlord and the Zombie Apocalypse, in which he fights CGI zombies with a toy pistol and a sword. On December 14th, he released the video Vlog des Drachen number 36, Trolls Are Finished. In it, he talks about how he figured out that the sponsorship offer was a troll attempt and he announces to file a big fat report, or as he says, fette dicke Anzeige for Monday. He also expects to defeat the trolls soon and his face is filled with joy. On the same day he released Vlog des Drachen number 35, Surprising Email, in which he talks about the sponsorship and that it turned out to be a troll attempt. He also talks about videos which he received from haters in which they masturbate to pictures of his friends and family members. He claims that even though it upset him initially, he isn't bothered by it anymore. Rainer also claims that in the meantime he has found the troll named Dr. Vogel, who originally had the idea for the alleged sponsorship, and bombarded him with several pages worth of emails. In those, he nobly promised to not report him to the police if the troll apologized to him. On December 15th, Rainer uploaded the video Vlog des Drachen number 37, Last Vlog for Now. He announces to pull an all-nighter to buy a Christmas hat first thing in the morning the next day. The same day appeared Christmas Special 104 Top 10 Christmas Songs. In the video, he harshly rejects a gift from Dr. Vogel which he had offered him as an apology for the troll attempt. In the next 3 parts of the Christmas Special, Rainer was able to refrain from any mention of the haters. Despite this, or perhaps because of it, the videos were met with a mainly negative response. On December 20th, a user on Lachshon claimed to have been in Altschauerberg, to have seen Rainer's house from the outside and reported on the desolate, neglected state of the house. As a reminder, Rainer had already published his address in February. On December 24th, Rainer then uploaded the video Vlog des Drachen number 38, Freedom. In it, he comments on the fact that the YouTuber Unge, a German Let's Play YouTuber, deletes his channels. Rainer shows his concern and accompanies the whole video with sad music. On the 29th of December, Rainer's PO box received a package from an unknown person filled with feces. Rainer was accordingly horrified and announced that he would go to the police. Then, on December 31st, Drachenlord's 2014 Year in Review was released.
Ich hoffe, das war richtig ausgesprochen. Wahrscheinlich beschweren sich alle in den Kommentaren, das war falsch ausgesprochen. Ja, gut. Ich kann halt nicht immer alles perfekt aussprechen. Ich bin kein Professor. So. Und ich sehe schon wieder irgendwo bei den Trollen, kommt vielleicht wieder so ein Ding, ne? Macht ihr wieder eure billigen kleinen Kinderspielchen mit diesem Meme-Bilder. Ja und? Warum macht ihr sowas eigentlich? Weil ich geil bin und weil ihr neidisch drauf seid.
One of Rainer's New Year's resolution is to ignore the haters. He assumes that about 300 of his 2,300 subscribers are haters. Accordingly, he wrongly assumes that only 30% of his audience are haters.
Ich erwähne euch! Wow! Ich bin auf dem Schnitt zwischen 2000 und 3000 Abonnenten. Was bringt euch das, wenn ich euch erwähne? Ihr habt keinen YouTube-Kanal, ihr habt nicht die Eier, euch vor die Kamera zu stellen, so wie ich, und Videos zu machen. Ihr seid zu feige, euch mit eurem richtigen, realen Namen irgendwo zu melden. Und so entstehen diese ganzen Berns, Schnappis, Lach schon Kasper, generell allgemein, Crowd schon, Lach schon und hast du nicht gesehen. Was habt ihr davon, abgesehen davon, dass meine Zuschauer immer mehr werden? Ja, gut, vielleicht sind mehr Trolle dabei, als ich jetzt berechnet habe oder als ich jetzt davon ausgehe. Aber was bringt euch das? Damit unterstützt ihr mich und nicht euch.
The last 10 minutes of the video can be described as an outburst of rage. On the 3rd of January 2015, Vlog des Drachen number 40, A New Beginning, was released. The few days away from YouTube had already done Rainer good. He is visibly in a better mood than in his previous video. He announces that the interview with Radio Z was cancelled because of haters. Afterwards, he claims to have a blister on his lip since he was at the disco last night and again announces the deletion of his Facebook page. January 5th, Vlog des Drachen number 41, 2015, What Is, What Will Be and What Was appeared. In it, he explains that he has now deleted his Facebook account and is outraged because Facebook doesn't block the pages of haters. He also claims to have just been at work earlier. On January 7th, Rainer uploaded the video Vlog des Drachen 42, 2015 and directly Spadagroid, crap. He reports that he is sick with Spadagroid, a purely fictional disease from the Harry Potter universe. Rainer also claims that he is otherwise almost never ill. Then he tells us what his normal daily routine looks like, including work and meetings. He reports that he does office work, financial management and taxes 2 days a week. On January 9th, Rainer then streamed on Twitch despite his alleged illness and bragged about his physical strength and fitness. January 10th, Rainer claimed to have beaten up haters in front of his house. On the same day, he tried to get in good with bigger YouTubers on Twitter and drove to Geiselwind to a Sabaton concert, allegedly wearing his own Drachenlord t-shirt. Accordingly, on the 11th of January, the video Vlog des Drachen number 43, Yesterday, Sabaton, Awesome, appeared. In the video, he reports of having handed out autographed cards at the concert. On January 15th, the video Vlog des Drachen number 44, You Now, was released. Rainer explains that he is still sick and this time actually sounds like he has a cold. He also tells us that he has no sense of time when he is sick and urges his viewers to be careful with their data on the Internet.
Leute, ihr müsst auf eure Daten im Internet besser aufpassen. Ich weiß, ich bin nicht das beste Beispiel dafür. Das liegt bei mir allerdings daran, ich bin 25 und ich weiß, wie ich mit meinen Daten umgehen muss.
Also, Rainer announced once again to file charges against Lachschon. On January 16th, the video Drachenlord Special was released. He reports to be seriously ill and suspects it to be tonsillitis. Afterwards, he presents pictures of himself in the forest, which are probably older as can be concluded from the color of his hair. The same day, Vlog des Drachen number 45, Just a Thank You, appeared. In it, he thanks his numerous subscribers and announces in the future to make no more announcements. He also advises other YouTubers to never announce anything. On January 21st, TOM, Time of Metal, number 4, band Astral Doors album Notes from the Shadows was released. In the video, among other things, he explains his stage name. Drachenlord is meant to imply that he serves and protects the dragons, not that he presumes to be the lord of the dragons. He also announces a new challenge. His fans should send him a photo in which they hold up their favorite album. January 23rd, Rainer tweeted that he had just been to the dentist. On January 26th, Rainer uploaded the video Vlog des Drachen number 46, Alrighty, which begins with him standing in the forest with a sword in the rain. Allegedly, there were hardly any videos last week because Rainer had to work a lot. He lets the viewer know that he has finally finished reading the book The Last Unicorn. On January 27th, Nonsense Vlog number 6, the commercial clip of DL, was released. At the beginning of the video, he wears his work sweater.
Metal Leute, Servus und herzlich willkommen. Ups, mir ist gar nicht aufgefallen, dass ich heute meinen Arbeitspulli anhab. Das ist besser, schwarz. Entschuldigung, wie auch immer.
Towards the end of the video, he presents a promotional clip for his channel. In the evening, Rainer streamed on Twitch again and amused his viewers with unqualified statements. Among other things, Rainer claimed that laptops don't have graphics cards, that he stopped watching TV when Dragon Ball was cancelled, and that Wednesday is his office day. On January 28th, the video Drachenlord Episode 4, Drachenlord The Rock, was released, in which Rainer responds to comments. A subscriber suggests he should conduct a survey to determine what percentage of his viewers are trolls or real fans. He also speaks out against trolls again.
Getrollt wird nicht, wer trollt, fliegt. Einfacher können die Regeln nicht sein. Wer sich nicht dran hält, hat Pech gehabt. Und ich verstehe nicht, was daran so schwer ist.
Apparently, Rainer was still hoping to make a video together with Master Jam one day. In a poll that Rainer had created on his website to find out whether his viewers were mostly haters or real fans, most of the votes were for haters. January 31st, however, the answer for fan shot up due to a bot. On the same day, Rainer commented on this in the video Vlog des Drachen 48, Sad Truths. He admits that the poll was manipulated, but claims that this should not have been possible. He also says that he thought about quitting after last summer breeze because he was scared by all the attention. However, he announces that he will certainly not quit. On the 4th of February, the video Drachenlord Challenge Episode 1, Your Favorite Albums, appeared. In it, he presents the participants of his last challenge. In the process, he manages to mispronounce almost all the band names and albums. Among other things, he seems to think that L'Enfant Sauvage, Tresenlied and Terrorgruppe are English words and pronounces them accordingly. Rainer also admits to be listening to Tokyo Hotel and owning several albums of the band. Rainer also advises all men not to cheat on their girlfriends and calls himself a bad boy.
Lasst sowas, ja? Betrügt eure Freundin nicht. Andere Menschen haben überhaupt keine Freundin. Und deswegen Leuten wie euch.
The winners of the challenge ultimately received a Drachenlord poster. February 5th, Rainer uploaded the video Vlog des Drachen number 49, New or Old. In it, he announces a new format in which he talks about his most intimate thoughts. On the 6th of February, the video Ask Dragon number 4, Dragons Eat Cereal, appeared. In it, he reveals that his favorite rapper is Eminem and he also owns an album by him. He also claims to have done a lot of martial arts in the past. On the same day, Vlog des Drachen number 50, Ice Cold, was also released. In it, he announces he's going to block people who like videos that make fun of him. The video is a tantrum and thus perfect food for the trolls. Also on this day, the video game Dragon Isolation by Lachshon user Silas Speculatius was also released. On Twitter, Rainer recently tried to curry favor with the YouTuber Unge again. On February 8th, Rainer's Corner, Episode 1, Feelings, was released. In the video, Rainer says he saw a shirt with the slogan, "You laugh because I'm different, I laugh because you're all the same," and explains that it reflects his existence well. He claims that humans could learn something from the social behavior of elephants. He also again talks about how strange, i.e. unique, he is and says that he had no friends in school. He mentions having considered suicide several times. He also talks about how difficult the time after his father's death was and that he was depressed at the time. However, his friends back then helped him get through that period. In the comments of the video, however, Rainer reacted unkindly and with arrogance to well-intentioned advice. On the same day, Vlog des Drachen number 51, Shot and Everyone's Dead, was released, in which he claims to be working hard on his videos and his projects. In the video, he wears a Dragon Force shirt which is too small for him, and he admits that the empty pizza carton behind him has been there for weeks. On February 9th, Rainer uploaded the video Nonsense Vlog number 7, Embarrassing and Old Pictures. In it, he presents old photos of himself and tries to prove self-reflection as he comments on them. February 10th, Vlog des Drachen number 52, Level Up, was released. In the video, he announces that he would like to invite some of his fans to his home for a subscriber special. On the 11th of February, Rainer uploaded the video Vlog des Drachen number 53, Briefly Something Important. In it, he complains that an alleged fan has bought him 3,000 subscribers on YouTube. On this day, Rainer also cut his hair short. As a result, the next day, Vlog des Drachen number 54, Mercilessly Short Hair, appeared. In it, he also announced that if someone bought him subscribers again, he would probably delete his channel. On February 14th, the video Ask Drache number 5, Next One, appeared, in which he tells of having been given hamster food and a plant by his fans. He also reports of never having been in the Bundeswehr, the German army, because he was deemed unfit due to his feet. A surprisingly progressive take by Rainer is that he thinks that prostitution is a normal profession to him like any other. February 15th, Vlog des Drachen number 55, A Normal Week, was released. In it, he gives his thanks for the hamster food and the dragon tree again. He also explains that one of his hamsters died. On the 16th of February, Rainer uploaded 4 videos. In Let's Info 1, he declares war on the YouTuber Drachenlord, or Drache is annoying. He has been producing videos for some time in which he makes fun of Rainer. Rainer announces that he will upload Drachenlord's videos to his channel as revenge. In Rainer's Corner episode 2, Faith, he claims not to be religious and to have his own faith. Then he talks about the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you, which he declares to be his personal motto. He then eventually talks about speed limits on country roads. Afterwards, he complains about the haters, claims friends advised him to stop his activities on YouTube, and starts talking about clones and chaos theory. Then he tells that when he was very little, his mother almost left his father, but changed her mind at the last moment. Rainer also claims to have had a long-distance relationship with a girl when he was 14. In Vlog des Drachen number 56, Jack Rags, he presents the toilet paper roll that usually sits on his desk and claims to use it for masturbation. Then he explains that he is considering to react to hater videos in the future. Then, on February 18th, Rainer uploaded the video Drachenlord episode 5, My Dragonlords, in which he responds to comments in a fidgety, over-the-top manner. The following day, the video Vlog des Drachen number 57, Hater Throwing Competition, appeared, in which he announces to discuss with Drache Nervt over Skype. Rainer also had a tantrum on Twitter that day. In it, he insults people in the grossest way. The YouTuber Drache Nervt had meanwhile shown insight and had made peace with Drachenlord. Drache Nervt published a video in which a woman pretends to be Drache Nervt and apologizes to Rainer. Following that, Rainer uploaded the video Vlog des Drachen number 58. He explains that he talked to Drache Nervt and she agreed to upload one last video and then delete the channel and all videos. He then admits that his Twitter was not hacked as he had originally implied. He confirms being responsible for all the tweets and apologizes. Rainer claims that the tweets were due to sleeplessness and a nervous breakdown. A video of Drache Nervt also appeared that day. As expected, the reformation was only feigned and Rainer fell for it. Also, the woman in the apology video was not Drache Nervt, but rather an acting student friend. Rainer announced another video on Twitter. This appeared in the form of Drachenlord, The Truth, The Last Vlog. In it, since he still assumes that Drache Nervt is a woman, he claims that he has had problems with women all his life and has been treated badly by them. He accuses Drache Nervt of having lost touch with reality. Following that, Rainer claims to have a job but admits to not being self-employed. He says he is setting his lies straight because of a special woman. He announces that he will stop making vlogs but will otherwise continue to produce videos. However, apparently the real identity of Drache Nervt and his fellow helpers was found out by Krautchan. As a result, Drache Nervt disappeared from the scene. In the war between Drachenlord and Drache Nervt, Rainer fell for all of Drache Nervt's deceptions, but was shown up in relatively unspectacular ways. Thereupon, other haters focused their anger on Drache Nervt, so that he was forced to withdraw from the dragon game. Thus, Rainer had lost all battles, but won the war and still considered himself undefeated.